Andrew Berry talked about building a roster. So there's some thought that, boy, if you have a quarterback on his rookie deal, you have to win now. Andrew Berry said roster building, kind of an art form. Here's what he said about building the roster and kind of looking where you're going as well.
Part of my job is to have a little bit of foot in the present and a little bit of a foot, because there is certainly this year's team, but also making sure that we're both managing the roster and managing our resources, whether that's picks or dollars, in a manner that allows us to have sustained success. I'd say over the past 18 months, it's definitely played a factor into our planning. The reality of it is the cap went down almost $8 million past year, and even moving forward, it's probably going to be $30 million less than everybody projected about to go. So that does create some changes in terms of how you think about longer term roster planning, but none of those challenges are insurmountable.
And again, Jeff, that's particularly important because of the extensions that are due and the salary cap space. Browns have a lot of salary cap space, likely to get eaten up by the extensions they're going to do.
Yeah, they're not going to have that for long, especially with the extensions. Who knows when they're going to happen, but they will happen. The big thing is that he has an understanding that you don't want to be like the Dallas Cowboys, who went all in, added a lot of big contracts at a time where they didn't have a lot of salary cap room. They basically mortgaged their future to win, and they didn't win. And then last year they fell behind and couldn't even win a division where the division winner didn't have a winning record. I think you want to avoid that. I think you want to avoid the situation that the New Orleans Saints are in, where one of your star player goes down, your quarterback retires. I don't know what to think of the Saints this year, because they don't have the monetary ability to add anyone to replace Drew Brees or Michael Thomas. So they're kind of hamstrung by that. I think Barry is very responsible in how he's handling it. He understands that he will have to pay Baker and Chubb and Denzel and that there's other people that are going to have their hands out as well. And prioritizing those, understanding the budget, the budgetary constraints that are out there with the pandemic impacting the salary cap and all that. I feel really good about the way that Andrew Berry is talking about it, and thus far the way he's handled it too. They haven't really handed out any weird flippant contracts. They've done a really good job of budgeting for what they've got and putting the appropriate value on the positions and the players. And that's I can tell you from covering other teams around the league, that doesn't happen everywhere, and it's very refreshing to see it happening in Cleveland with a very good roster. It would be very easy to say, oh, we're maybe this one player away. Let's go out and get him and torpedo the future a little bit. This team isn't going to do that. They're building to win every year, not just one year.